Well, as we were talked about at the opening of the show today, that we're celebrating our Constitution today and the Citizenship Day as well. So I think it's very appropriate that our guests, along with Supervisor Lisa Bartlett today, we have Saul Viramontes, we're talking about the 2020 census, so it fits right in. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you.
Great to be back.
Yeah, and Saul, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you here today. And boy, it's coming up again. It's about every 10 years, right?
Every 10 years, yes.
And it's one of those type of things that I think, once it happens, people kind of forget about, and how does it work, and what's the kind of information that is needed. And that's why it's so important, because it really determines in many ways a lot of the funding that this area, the state, and many other states obviously get, right?
Yes, the 2020 census is going to be critical, and you're right, every 10 years we have a census. But it's really important for every person to be counted, because the census count determines our state and our federal funding for some essential programs that we roll out to our communities. And the census count is also used for determining the redistricting lines for county, state, and federal offices.
Okay, and what do you mean by that is if they look if there's a shift or something, how those lines may be determined? But is it determined? I always get confused when it comes to that sort of thing. Is it determined by federal government or the state, or the two together as far as redistricting lines?
There's a redistricting commission that Saul will talk about that is specific for the 2020 census, and that commission will determine the actual boundary lines.
So the county is launching its own efforts for this, and to get the word out and kind of prepare people in advance, right?
Yes, it's really important for the county to be proactive and get the word out that every person in Orange County needs to be counted, because funding is dependent upon our census count. So having everyone participate is extremely critical. Right,
and Saul, that's why you're here today, right?
Definitely.
Tell us about what you do and your office does.
Okay, so a little bit about what I'm doing for the 2020 census is this year the census is this cycle, the census is so much more different than it was in the past. In the past, we were used to enumerators coming to the door with a questionnaire packet.
Right.
However, this year the federal government wanted to change it up a bit, take advantage of the technology we have today. So it will be primarily online.
Okay.
But the good thing is, since the census is such a large federal effort, there's a lot of planning to go along with that.
Okay.
The state of California set aside funding to make sure that the right amount of outreach was the right amount of resources were deployed into the community, just to make sure all residents understand the process of what they should be expecting. And the one thing we will be doing with the Laguna Woods Mutual Association and the village is to make sure that we establish questionnaire assistance centers.
Okay.
And these centers will help individuals make participating in the census fun, safe, easy. Additionally, it will bring awareness to make sure everybody knows the census is here.
And as you said, 10 years ago, how it's changed, people come up to the door. And in many cases, that was off-putting to people. They're like, who is this person? I don't want to give them personal information and things like that. Now, is there still, for those who maybe don't go online that often, like my dad, although he lives in New Mexico, will there be a way for them to participate?
Correct. So 5% of the census tracts across all of the nation will get a paper questionnaire to start. However, we're not clear which census tracts that's going to be. But everybody will have an invitation to participate through the mail, and they could go online and complete the census. If they choose to look for assistance, I think the Laguna Woods, the city of Laguna Woods will be prepared for that, and so will the mutual. And I've been working with President Juanita Skillman to make sure that we message this appropriately to all the residents, and so everybody understands, just how quick and easy this process will be.
Now, as far as going online to do this, I am assuming that one of the, like our family, either I'm going to do it or my wife is going to do it. I doubt my daughter will, since she's 13. But it's one family member kind of fills it out for that family unit. Am I right?
That's correct. So
Okay.
I want to take the emphasis away from family, just because a lot of households isn't always, your
Right.
mom, dad, and the children. So it's usually the head of the household or the individual paying the mortgage or the rent, right?
Okay.
And that individual is going to be responsible for listing everybody in the household.
Okay.
So this could include a renter or grandma, grandpa, anybody else in the
Oh,
household.
really? Even a renter or something? So the renter does not go on and do it themselves, or what if they're there are people here, there might be, or roommates or something like that. If you're still an individual, you pay taxes individually, would you each do it separately? And this may not so much apply here. I'm just more as a curious question. If a household, like before I got married, I lived with two other guys in a house, we were all individuals, so I'm wondering how that would work.
Ideally, there would be one application per address.
Okay, all right, very good. And tell me again, Lisa, how important this is, because there's been a lot in the news about this over the last year, any kind of changes to the questions and things like that. But irregardless of what somebody's situation is, the point is the funding that comes in. And this is a big part of it, right?
Yes, the numbers that are determined through the 2020 census, those numbers that actually go to the president when the census is completed, the federal government and then rolling down to the state government, those numbers are used to determine the actual funding that we receive at the county level. And based on the funding, we roll that money into the various programs that we roll out to our residents in Orange County. People are always asking, when does this start? When can they get involved? So starting March 12th, people can go online and they can go via phone. They can always call in, but also the mail as well.
Okay.
And then the completion date is not March 1st, but April 1st is the last day that public responses can be sent in.
Okay.
And for those that don't send in a response by April 1st, they will probably receive a knock on their door. Because for every household where we don't receive a response back with information, the census organization will come out there and knock on the door to try to obtain that information.
Okay, so how long is the form online? How long would it take somebody?
The form is 7 questions.
Oh, okay.
So if it's just one person, it should be less than 10 minutes,
Okay.
5 minutes maybe. So yeah, just multiply 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes by the number of individuals in the household. And it's very basic information, name, birth date. I just want to also highlight the fact that the U.S. Census Bureau is the only agency that has access to that information. Once they get all this information in their very secure servers, what they do is they package it and they report it as a statistical number. And that's no identifying information. Once all that information has been taken in, it's encrypted, and then they report it as a statistic. For example, in the city of Laguna Woods, this is the approximate age. This is the number of male. This is the number of female.
All right. Now, we start this in March. Obviously, you'll be back many times before then to remind people. But where can they go for more information? Can they just go to ocgov.com? Is there a link there? They just want to find out information about it.
Yes, sir. So we have a website, ocgov.com/census2020.
Okay.
And I also want to point them to the 2020census.gov, which is the official Census Bureau website for the 2020 census. Okay.
And I guess my point is you want to get the word out, especially as we get closer to the date for people, because it's something they have to be proactive on. Am I right? They're not, or will people get a mailer saying you need to go online?
Correct. So there will be a mailer that goes out in the beginning of March.
Okay, great.
The invitation is started on March 12th.
Okay.
And they'll get 2 reminders before April 1st, and as Supervisor Bartlett mentioned, starting April 15th is when we're going to see that non-response follow-ups for individuals who haven't responded.
Okay, and we see the date on here, December 31st of 2020. That's when the results are due to the president, and then obviously they're probably made public, I don't know, probably takes another month or so, where we kind of figure out how the population has changed or whatever it might be, right?
And I'll be putting reminders in my e-newsletter that goes out every Friday.
Yes, and also obviously between now and then, like I said, you'll be back and many times. And I think maybe it'd be nice to have you back sometime.
Would love to be back. Thank you.
Just let us know, especially since you're working with the community directly here. Now, one more thing we want to talk about, And this is coming up on October 19th at the Norman P. Murray. And this is the 12th annual South County Emergency Preparedness Expo, right?
We are so excited about that. It's our 12th annual event at the Norman P. Murray Center in Mission Viejo, 9 to 1 p.m. on October the 19th. And I'm partnering with the Orange County Sheriff's Department, the Fire Authority, and the City of Mission Viejo. We're going to have a booth there, but all of the entities, the vendors, the Fire Authority will have vehicles there. We'll have demonstrations. We have a lot of free giveaways, and it's just a fun day for the entire family. It's a great educational experience, but we have a lot of fun for the kids, a lot of activities around the youth. So it's a great day for everyone to come and enjoy and learn about how you can prepare your family household for an emergency.
Yeah, very important. We're not just talking about earthquake, just any reason that comes about. So
absolutely.
Very good. Now, again, if people would like to sign up for your newsletter, how would they go about that?
They can go to my 5th District at the County of Orange. So just sign on to the OCGov website, go to the 5th District.
Okay.
And you'll see the link to sign on for my e-newsletter. It's really great information.
It is.
Comes out every Friday in the afternoon, and it talks about all the events and activities that we've handled for the week, but also things that are coming up. And it has information about things like the census, getting involved, and things that are important to the community at large.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of, depending on the time of the year, all neat, fun things that you list there, obviously. It's only like 100 days till Christmas, believe it or not. So you'll be having stuff up around your district for all that fun events and holidays and Halloween and all kinds of things.
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I want to know in advance, is Dana Point still putting up all their lights this year?
This year will probably be really spectacular because our OC Parks always does a phenomenal job with our harbor festivities and lighting. But this year, the Dana Point Harbor Partners, the team that is going to revitalize the harbor, will be involved as well. So the Dana Point Harbor team, working in conjunction with OC Parks, I would anticipate even more fun activities and decorations and lights for the public to enjoy.
All right, it is really spectacular. I know we got a few months to go, but plan on going down there because, one, it's free, and you have a great time in the evening, lots of good restaurants, and I forget his name, the coffee guy, the guy who's on the coffee shop and the ice cream place for 40
Jim
years.
Miller.
Yes, we always stop there. You know, it doesn't matter even if it's chilly out, gotta have an ice cream. Great to see you. And we'll see you in about a month. And folks, if you sign up for the newsletter, you can watch us all over again because you usually post that there. And Saul will definitely get you back. All right, thank you for coming on. We'll be right back.